Have you ever wondered what would happen if you took just 30 days off from something you do every single day? Something that many believe to be harmless or even a normal part of life, yet it's affecting your mind, your body, and your relationships in ways you might not even realize. What if I told you that after just 30 days without masturbation, your brain would be completely rewired, your energy levels would soar, and your focus and mental clarity would skyrocket? Sounds crazy, right? But here's the truth. The effects are real. The decision to go a full month without indulging in something as instinctive as this can unlock hidden benefits that most people never even consider. In fact, the changes to your body and mind are so profound that they might just change your life. And it's not just about willpower or self-discipline, it's about what happens to your brain when it no longer gets that constant dopamine hit. It's about how your emotional stability improves, your testosterone levels rise, and you begin to reclaim the focus and energy that you thought were slipping away. You might even start noticing your relationships improving and your sense of self-worth rising. In this video, we're diving into what happens to the male mind when you take 30 days off from masturbation, what you gain, what you learn, and why this challenge can completely change how you see your own life. Stick with me, because by the end you might be surprised at just how much your mind, body, and relationships can transform in just 1 month. Let's get started. When you decide to take 30 days off from masturbation, you're doing more than just making a physical change. You're making a significant impact on your brain chemistry. This is where the concept of dopamine comes into play. Dopamine is often referred to as the feel-good neurotransmitter. It's what fuels our pleasure and reward system. When you masturbate, dopamine floods the brain, giving you a short burst of pleasure and satisfaction. It's a quick hit of instant gratification. This is one of the reasons why masturbation feels so good. It's like an immediate reward. But the problem with this quick fix is that your brain becomes conditioned to rely on these frequent dopamine spikes. The cycle of pleasure and reward works like this. When you engage in an activity that stimulates dopamine production, your brain learns to associate that activity with reward. This is a fundamental part of the brain's reward system. The problem, though, comes when this cycle becomes habitual. Every time you masturbate, you're essentially reinforcing the idea that you need this particular form of pleasure to feel good. Over time, the brain starts to expect that burst of dopamine more and more frequently. In fact, regular masturbation can begin to hijack this system, leading to a constant craving for more of these dopamine spikes. When you take a break from masturbation, however, your brain begins to recalibrate. Instead of constantly being flooded with dopamine, your brain starts to restore its natural balance. In the absence of these frequent spikes, your brain begins to produce dopamine in more balanced amounts, allowing you to experience pleasure from other more meaningful sources. This is where the 30-day break becomes so powerful. As the days pass without any form of sexual release, your brain begins to reset its reward system. It no longer depends on that immediate rush of dopamine to feel good. In fact, studies have shown that a significant period of abstinence, like the 30 days of no masturbation, can lead to a more stable, healthy baseline of dopamine. What this means for you is that you'll start to feel more motivated, more driven, and more focused. Why? Because your brain is no longer caught in a loop of instant gratification, and you're able to tap into more sustainable sources of pleasure and reward. But that's not all. As the dopamine system stabilizes, something else happens too. People who take breaks from frequent masturbation often report experiencing a heightened sense of mental clarity. Your focus sharpens because your brain isn't constantly craving that next hit of pleasure. The constant pull to check your phone, to distract yourself with short-term pleasures, begins to fade. Instead, your attention span improves, your ability to concentrate on long-term goals gets better, and your productivity levels increase. Think about it. With fewer distractions and less mental fog, you're able to dive into tasks with a sharper mind. The result? You're able to get more done and feel better about your achievements. On top of that, something subtle but incredibly important happens during this period. As the dopamine system resets, you begin to re-engage with your intrinsic motivation. This is different from the kind of motivation you get from immediate gratification. It's the deeper, more enduring drive that pushes you to pursue things that genuinely matter to you. Whether it's your career, a personal project, or your fitness goals, Taking 30 days off from masturbation allows you to realign with your long-term desires and ambition. Instead of living for those fleeting moments of pleasure, you start to find fulfillment in longer, more meaningful pursuits. You begin to feel more in control of your life and your decisions. But let's take this even further. Research has shown that taking a break from sexual release can have a direct impact on your emotional well-being. Without the constant dopamine spikes, you begin to experience a more stable mood. In fact, one of the most common things reported by those who abstain for 30 days is a significant reduction in anxiety and mood swings. When your brain isn't hijacked by the constant pursuit of instant pleasure, you begin to experience emotional balance. Anxiety levels drop because you're no longer relying on external sources of gratification to feel okay. The emotional roller coaster that comes with chasing dopamine spikes starts to level off. Now here's the kicker. The more stable your dopamine levels become, the less likely you are to seek out unhealthy coping mechanisms. For many, masturbation can be a form of stress relief, or a way to cope with negative emotions. But as you reset your dopamine system, you'll begin to find healthier ways to deal with stress and negative feelings. Instead of turning to an instant fix, you might start exercising, meditating, or pursuing hobbies that bring long-term fulfillment. This shift in behavior can significantly improve your overall mental health. It's like breaking free from the cycle of short-term fixes and learning how to find peace and joy from within. But we're not done yet. As your dopamine levels stabilize, you might notice something else: a heightened sense of self-control. This is a huge part of the 30-day challenge. Masturbation, like any form of instant gratification, is an impulse. It's something that happens quickly, often without much thought. When you take a break, you're training yourself to resist these impulses, and in doing so, you build mental resilience. This muscle of self-discipline grows stronger every day, and it translates into other areas of your life. Whether it's sticking to a diet, hitting the gym, or pursuing a difficult project, the ability to control your impulses and stay focused on long-term goals becomes a powerful tool in your arsenal. Self-control is something that improves with practice, and by taking control of your sexual energy for 30 days, you're strengthening your mental fortitude. So let's recap what happens in your brain when you go 30 days without masturbation. Your dopamine system begins to rebalance, leading to improved focus, mental clarity, and increased motivation. Your mood stabilizes, anxiety decreases, and you start to find healthier ways to cope with stress. Your self-control improves, and you begin to reconnect with long-term goals and ambitions. All of these changes begin to stack up, creating a snowball effect of positive transformation. The benefits aren't just mental, they're emotional, physical, and social too. And as we move through this journey of abstinence, you'll start to notice how these changes seep into all aspects of your life, setting you up for a more focused, empowered, and fulfilling future. The power of a 30-day break from masturbation doesn't just lie in the absence of pleasure. It lies in the recalibration of your brain's reward system, the restoration of mental clarity, and the reclamation of self-control. It's about turning away from short-term fixes and instead choosing long-term growth. So if you're ready to see the changes for yourself, take that step. Give your brain the reset it needs, and watch as your mind, body, and life begin to transform. Imagine waking up each day with a clear mind, ready to tackle whatever comes your way, without the fogginess or distractions that typically cloud your thoughts. What if I told you that simply taking a break from masturbation for 30 days could significantly improve your mental clarity and focus? This isn't just wishful thinking. This is something that many men experience after abstaining for a month. The mental shift that occurs after taking a break from the constant stimulation of dopamine is nothing short of remarkable. Here's why. Every time you engage in an activity that spikes dopamine, whether it's masturbation, social media, or eating junk food, your brain is essentially rewarding itself with short bursts of pleasure. It's a pattern of instant gratification that can create a dependency, making it harder to concentrate on tasks that require prolonged attention. For most people, this cycle leads to a mind that is constantly jumping from one short-term fix to the next, unable to stay focused for long periods of time. And that's where the 30-day break makes a difference. When you abstain from masturbation, the brain is no longer flooded with dopamine spikes, and it starts to adapt. The constant cravings for short bursts of pleasure start to diminish, allowing your brain to recalibrate and restore its focus. As you progress through the 30 days, you'll notice that tasks that once felt tedious or hard to get through suddenly seem easier. Your ability to concentrate improves because your brain is no longer distracted by the pull of immediate gratification. No longer does it crave that quick, easy hit of dopamine. Instead, it learns to focus on more meaningful, long-term rewards, such as completing a challenging project or learning a new skill. This shift is transformative because it means that your mind has regained control. Instead of being at the mercy of fleeting pleasures, you can now focus on things that require sustained attention and effort. But it doesn't stop there. Another thing that many people report after abstaining for 30 days is an increase in their ability to prioritize and plan. This might sound simple, but it's incredibly important. When you're constantly distracted by quick pleasures, your ability to make decisions about what truly matters gets clouded. But after a month of focusing your energy elsewhere, you start to see a marked improvement in your ability to make sound decisions about your time, your goals, and your future. Whether it's deciding to tackle a personal project, focusing on a work deadline, or planning out your week, the clarity that comes from abstaining allows you to prioritize what's truly important. Another benefit of improved mental clarity is the ability to think more creatively. A lot of men who take part in the 30-day challenge report feeling more inspired to pursue their passions. With your brain no longer bogged down by constant urges or the distractions of instant gratification, it has more space to process ideas, solve problems, and come up with new ways to approach old challenges. This mental space is essential for creativity because it allows your brain to freely explore new concepts without being tethered to the need for constant stimulation. As a result, you may find that you have more original ideas, and your ability to think critically improves as well. This mental reset isn't just about being more productive, it's about being more present. When your mind isn't constantly focused on seeking instant rewards, you can fully engage in the present moment. Whether it's having a conversation with a friend, working on a hobby, or simply enjoying a quiet moment of relaxation, you're able to be there without the distraction of cravings. This mindfulness is a game changer because it enhances your quality of life. You start to experience a greater sense of calm and satisfaction because you're no longer looking for something external to fill an internal void. The effects on focus and clarity also have a domino effect in your professional life. Many people report that their work performance improves during the 30-day period. Why? Because when your brain is no longer saturated with dopamine spikes from constant stimulation, it can devote its energy to tasks that require deep thought and sustained effort. You're able to concentrate better, come up with solutions more quickly, and stay on task longer. Whether you're working on a long-term project or simply handling day-to-day tasks, you'll find that your ability to stay focused and deliver results improves significantly. But it's not just about work. Your personal life also benefits from increased focus and clarity. As you free up mental space, you may start to see your relationships improve. Without the constant distraction of compulsive habits, you can be more present with others. Whether you're spending time with your partner, family, or friends, you're able to engage in conversations and activities without being distracted by a nagging need for a dopamine rush. You'll find that your relationships become more meaningful because you're more engaged and attentive. Now let's talk about something that often goes unnoticed: the mental fatigue that comes from constant self-indulgence. Even though masturbation might seem like a harmless release, the truth is that it takes up a significant amount of mental energy. Think about it. When you're constantly seeking instant gratification, your brain is always in a state of tension, trying to balance short-term pleasure with long-term consequences. This constant back and forth creates a subtle underlying fatigue. After 30 days without masturbation, many men report feeling less mentally drained. They experience less guilt and less mental chatter because they're no longer caught up in the cycle of indulgence and regret. The result: a more relaxed and peaceful state of mind that allows them to focus on more important things. This newfound clarity and focus don't just appear overnight. It's the result of consistent effort and commitment. But once you get through the first few days of withdrawal, the benefits begin to compound. Each day you stick to your decision, your brain strengthens its ability to stay focused, to concentrate, and to live in the present moment. It's as if you've unlocked a part of your mind that was previously locked away, and now that door is open, allowing you to experience life with more awareness and purpose. So what's the takeaway here? After 30 days of abstaining from masturbation, your brain undergoes a remarkable transformation. You experience enhanced mental clarity, an improved ability to focus, and a deeper sense of presence in your daily life. Your creative thinking and problem-solving abilities improve, and you begin to prioritize and plan with greater ease. Most importantly, you rediscover the joy of being in the moment, free from the pull of constant distractions. This is a mental reset like no other, and it's something that you'll continue to benefit from long after the 30 days are up. By the time you finish the challenge, you'll find that your mind feels sharper, your focus more powerful, and your mental clarity a lot clearer. You'll wonder why you didn't do this sooner. And as we move through the rest of this journey, you'll discover that this is just the tip of the iceberg. What happens next could be even more transformative than you ever imagined. Stay with me, because the next section will reveal the emotional benefits that come with the 30-day challenge. You may have heard the phrase, dopamine detox, thrown around when talking about abstaining from masturbation. But it's not just about reducing the spikes of instant pleasure. There's something deeper happening when you take a 30-day break from this habit. Something that affects your emotional and mental health in profound ways. The longer you stay away from those quick dopamine hits, the more you start to feel your anxiety levels drop and your mood stabilize. This is one of the most surprising yet powerful benefits of the 30-day challenge that many people experience. Let's dive into why this happens. When you indulge in frequent masturbation, especially as a means of stress relief or emotional escape, your brain becomes conditioned to associate the act with immediate gratification. While it might offer temporary relief, it doesn't actually address the underlying issues causing your stress or anxiety. Instead, you end up creating a cycle where your brain seeks out quick fixes, leaving you with less resilience to handle life's real challenges. Over time, this constant seeking for relief, even if it feels soothing in the moment, creates an emotional drain that becomes harder to break free from. But here's where the 30-day challenge flips the script. When you take a break from masturbation, your brain stops relying on this form of emotional escape, forcing you to face and deal with stress in healthier ways. As you progress through the 30 days, something remarkable starts to happen. Your body and mind begin to recalibrate. Without the constant emotional crutch of instant gratification, you start to notice that your anxiety levels decrease. You begin to feel more equipped to face daily challenges without the need to run to a quick escape. For many men, this shift is liberating. After a few days of abstaining from masturbation, they begin to notice that their baseline level of anxiety is much lower than it used to be. This is because your brain is no longer stuck in a cycle of emotional avoidance. Instead of seeking quick relief, you start to process emotions in a healthier, more productive way. Stressful situations that used to make you feel overwhelmed no longer trigger the same intense reactions. You can deal with the problems in front of you without feeling emotionally drained by them. But the change in mood doesn't just stop at reduced anxiety. It goes deeper. Many men report an improvement in their overall sense of well-being and emotional stability after just a few weeks of abstaining from masturbation. The emotional highs and lows that once seemed constant begin to even out. This stabilization of mood is largely due to the resetting of the brain's dopamine system. When you remove the frequent dopamine spikes from masturbation, your brain learns to regulate its mood more effectively. Instead of relying on external sources of pleasure to feel good, your brain begins to find satisfaction in more balanced and sustainable ways. This emotional reset is not only beneficial for your mental health, but it also leads to a greater sense of control over your emotions. You no longer feel as reactive or impulsive. As you build more self-discipline and resilience throughout the 30-day period, your emotional well-being improves. You feel more empowered to handle stress and anxiety without resorting to unhealthy coping mechanisms. And the best part? This newfound emotional strength translates into a greater sense of self-confidence. It's also important to consider how this emotional reset impacts your long-term well-being. When you're constantly relying on instant gratification, you're training your brain to seek out pleasure without regard for the consequences. This can lead to an emotional roller coaster, where you're always chasing that next high. However, when you take a break from this cycle, you start to reclaim your emotional stability. You're able to experience joy and contentment without needing to rely on quick fixes to feel good. As a result, you're not only less anxious, but you're also less likely to engage in other habits that serve as emotional crutches, whether it's excessive screen time, overeating, or even alcohol consumption. Another powerful benefit of reduced anxiety is the improvement in sleep quality. Anxiety is often a major culprit when it comes to sleep disturbances. When your mind is constantly racing with stress and worry, it becomes much harder to relax enough to fall asleep. But as you work through the 30-day challenge and your anxiety decreases, you'll likely notice that your sleep improves. You may fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling more refreshed. This improved sleep quality has a significant impact on both your mental and physical health, making it even easier to take on the day with a calm, clear mind. The connection between mental health and physical well-being can't be overstated. When you take control of your emotional health by reducing anxiety, you also make a positive impact on your physical body. Chronic stress is known to contribute to a host of health problems, including heart disease, high blood pressure, and weakened immune function. By addressing anxiety and mood swings through the 30-day challenge, you're not only improving your mental clarity but also giving your body the opportunity to heal and rejuvenate. This holistic approach to health ensures that you're not just mentally stronger, but physically more resilient as well. But perhaps the most profound change comes in the way you relate to yourself. During the 30 days, as you experience reduced anxiety and an improved mood, you start to feel more at ease in your own skin. There's no longer a need to chase after temporary relief to fill an emotional gap. Instead, you begin to develop a deeper connection with yourself. Your sense of self-worth improves because you're no longer relying on outside sources to validate your emotions. This is a game changer because it allows you to live more authentically, without the constant need for external stimulation. As you continue through the challenge, you might also notice that your self-esteem begins to rise. Many men report feeling more proud of themselves for taking on the challenge and sticking with it. Each day without masturbation is a victory. And as these victories stack up, your confidence and belief in your ability to achieve anything grows stronger. This sense of self-mastery is not only empowering, it also sets the stage for long-term success in all areas of your life. To sum it up, the impact of a 30-day break from masturbation on your emotional health is profound. By removing the cycle of instant gratification, you give yourself the space to process emotions in a healthier way. Anxiety levels drop, mood stabilizes, and self-confidence rises. The result is not just a better mental state, but an overall improvement in your quality of life. You learn to take control of your emotional well-being and find more sustainable ways to cope with life's challenges. This emotional reset, paired with improved sleep, better physical health, and a clearer mind, is one of the most powerful and transformative aspects of the 30-day challenge. As you continue on this journey, you'll start to realize that emotional well-being isn't just about avoiding stress. It's about developing the tools and resilience needed to navigate it. And with each passing day, you'll become more capable of handling whatever life throws at you with confidence and composure. So, as you reach the halfway mark of your 30-day challenge, keep in mind the changes that are taking place in your mind and body. The emotional benefits are just the beginning, and the transformation you're experiencing is only going to continue to grow stronger. Stay with me, because what happens next might be the most rewarding part of all. There's a fascinating and often overlooked benefit that comes with taking a 30-day break from masturbation: a boost in testosterone levels. Now, before you dismiss this as just another myth or bro science, let's break down why this happens and what it really means for your overall vitality. Testosterone is the hormone often associated with masculinity, strength, and energy. But it's not just about muscle growth or libido. It affects nearly every aspect of a man's health, including mood, motivation, and even longevity. When you abstain from masturbation, especially for a period of 30 days, your body begins to undergo a subtle but significant change in hormone production. In the first few days, you may experience withdrawal symptoms, as your body adjusts to the absence of those regular dopamine spikes. However, as you move through the challenge, something powerful happens. Your testosterone levels naturally begin to rise. Research has shown that short periods of abstinence from ejaculation can lead to a noticeable spike in testosterone levels, often peaking around the 7-day mark, and maintaining a steady, elevated level throughout the rest of the 30 days. Why is this important? Well, testosterone is a key driver of energy, vitality, and overall well-being. Higher levels of this hormone often translate into increased energy, enhanced mood, and a general feeling of being more alive. If you've ever felt drained or sluggish, low testosterone could be a factor. By removing the habitual release of sexual energy, you give your body the chance to replenish its stores of testosterone, and in turn, you begin to feel more energized and motivated. The first noticeable change many men report after a 30-day break is an increase in energy. They feel more awake, alert, and ready to take on the day. This isn't just about feeling less tired, it's about a deeper, more profound sense of vitality. Instead of waking up with that foggy, sluggish feeling, you start your day with a renewed sense of drive and enthusiasm. Whether you're tackling work projects, hitting the gym, or simply going about your daily tasks, you'll find that you have more energy to spare. But it's not just about physical energy, it's about emotional vitality too. Higher testosterone levels are linked to improved mood and confidence. If you've ever noticed that a lack of energy or low motivation leads to feelings of frustration or irritability, you're not alone. Testosterone is crucial in regulating mood, and when it's at optimal levels, you tend to feel more positive, confident, and emotionally stable. The emotional benefit of increased testosterone is subtle, yet powerful. It's the difference between dragging yourself through the day and actually feeling excited about what lies ahead. Moreover, this energy boost doesn't just stay within the confines of your personal life, it extends to your professional life as well. With higher testosterone levels, your focus and productivity often improve. You're more likely to stay motivated, meet deadlines, and perform better in tasks that require sustained effort. You feel less mentally foggy and more able to tackle complex problems head-on. This is where the change can be the most rewarding, because not only do you feel physically better, but you also feel more mentally sharp and ready to excel in your work or other personal goals. Another fascinating aspect of this testosterone boost is its impact on your libido and sexual energy. While we're focusing on the broader effects of testosterone on your health and vitality, it's impossible to ignore the fact that this hormone plays a significant role in sexual desire. After 30 days without masturbation, many men report a heightened sense of sexual energy. They feel more connected to their own sexuality, and the absence of frequent ejaculation allows their sexual desire to become more focused and intentional. This heightened sexual energy isn't just about wanting to have sex more. It's about feeling more attuned to your own body, desires, and boundaries. It's about owning your sexuality rather than being driven by impulse. The increase in testosterone also has a direct impact on your muscle mass and strength. While 30 days of abstinence won't magically turn you into a bodybuilder, the combination of increased testosterone and enhanced motivation often leads to better results in the gym. Many men report greater strength and stamina, not just because of the hormonal boost, but also due to the mental clarity and drive that comes with it. Your workouts feel more focused, and you're able to push yourself harder and more effectively. This is particularly powerful if you've been struggling to stay consistent with exercise, or have noticed a decrease in your physical performance due to a lack of energy or motivation. But the benefits of this testosterone boost extend beyond just the physical and emotional. There's also an underlying psychological shift that occurs. When you're in a state of higher testosterone, you feel more assertive and self-assured. This can manifest in various areas of your life, including your career, relationships, and personal endeavors. You're more likely to speak up for yourself, take risks, and pursue opportunities with confidence. It's as though your body's natural vitality infuses your entire sense of self, making you feel more powerful and capable of achieving your goals. In fact, many men report that their self-esteem and self-worth improve significantly during a 30-day break from masturbation. This is because you're not only reconnecting with your own physical and emotional strength, but also reaffirming your ability to control your impulses. Every day that you stick with the challenge, you're proving to yourself that you can resist instant gratification and instead channel your energy into something more productive and rewarding. This reinforces a positive self-image and helps you build resilience, not just in your sexual habits but in your overall life. So what's the long-term impact of a 30-day break on your testosterone levels and vitality? While 1 month might seem like a short time, the benefits you experience can last well beyond the 30 days. As your body and mind adjust to the changes, you start to see how a healthy relationship with your energy, sexuality, and overall well-being can positively impact your life in the long run. By taking control of your sexual energy, you're not just giving your testosterone levels a boost, you're also giving yourself the opportunity to live with more vitality, purpose, and confidence. In conclusion, the testosterone boost you experience after 30 days of abstaining from masturbation is more than just a physical change. It's a catalyst for increased energy, motivation, and overall vitality. Your body feels stronger, your mood is more stable, and your confidence levels soar. This newfound energy and vitality will not only enhance your physical appearance and performance, but will also transform the way you approach life, work, and relationships. By embracing the 30-day challenge, you're not just improving your testosterone levels, you're reclaiming a more powerful version of yourself. One of the most significant and underrated benefits of taking 30 days off from masturbation is the improvement in self-control and discipline. When you commit to this challenge, you're doing more than just abstaining from a habit. You're actively training your brain to resist impulses and develop a level of mental fortitude that can spill over into other areas of your life. It's not just about saying no to something in the moment. It's about building a foundation of self-discipline that can carry you through difficult situations and help you make better decisions in the long run. Think about it. Masturbation is often a reactionary behavior. It's something you might do to relieve stress, cope with boredom, or even as a way to escape uncomfortable emotions. In the moment, it feels like a quick and easy fix, but by taking 30 days off, you're forcing yourself to break that immediate impulse and resist the urge to fall back into old habits. Each day you go without giving in, you're strengthening your ability to delay gratification and exercise control over your body and mind. This might sound simple, but the impact is profound. Resisting the urge to indulge in something so habitual allows you to practice patience and willpower. You begin to realize that not every craving needs to be fulfilled immediately. You start to recognize your triggers, whether it's stress, loneliness, or anxiety, and learn healthier ways to cope with them. Instead of seeking out that quick dopamine fix, you redirect your energy into more productive and rewarding activities. As your self-control improves, you start to notice other areas of your life benefiting as well. Maybe you're better able to stick to your fitness routine or eat healthier. Perhaps you've noticed that you're more focused at work or more disciplined in managing your time. The skills you develop in mastering one area of self-control, like resisting the urge to masturbate, start to translate into other areas, helping you become more consistent and reliable in everything you do. Moreover, this newfound self-discipline gives you a sense of accomplishment. Each day, you stay committed to the challenge. You're not just refraining from a physical act, you're proving to yourself that you have control over your impulses. This builds confidence and self-respect. The more you succeed in this challenge, the more you start to believe in your ability to achieve other goals in your life. You become more resilient, less prone to distractions, and better equipped to handle life's challenges. By the end of the 30 days, you might be surprised at how much stronger your willpower has become. You'll have developed a deeper sense of self-mastery, not just over your physical habits, but over your emotions and reactions. You may find yourself more in tune with your needs, more focused on your goals, and more motivated to push through obstacles. This is the power of discipline. It not only changes your behavior, but reshapes your entire approach to life. In essence, this challenge isn't just about going without masturbation. It's about discovering the strength and control you didn't know you had. You're building a mindset that embraces long-term rewards over short-term satisfaction. This shift in perspective can be life-changing, creating a foundation for success, resilience, and personal growth that lasts long after the 30 days are over. One of the most powerful yet often overlooked benefits of taking 30 days off from masturbation is the positive impact it can have on your relationships and social interactions. It's easy to underestimate just how much our personal habits, even ones we think are harmless, can affect the way we relate to others. When you remove the constant cycle of seeking instant gratification, you start to notice shifts not only within yourself, but also in how you engage with the people around you. The first major change many people report is an increase in social confidence. Masturbation, especially when used as a coping mechanism for loneliness or boredom, can often serve as a substitute for social interactions. You might find yourself retreating into solitude and using it as a way to avoid engaging with others. However, when you stop relying on that quick fix for emotional satisfaction, you open yourself up to more genuine connections with the people around you. You're no longer distracted by the urge for instant gratification, which allows you to engage in more meaningful and fulfilling social interactions. The positive effects on your relationships are undeniable. As you regain control over your sexual energy and start feeling more balanced emotionally and mentally, you become more present with your friends, family, and romantic partners. You're not just physically present, you're mentally engaged. You find yourself listening better, participating more actively in conversations, and showing more empathy and understanding. You stop being preoccupied with fleeting pleasures and start investing your energy in the people who matter most to you. Moreover, the discipline and self-control that you're building during this 30-day challenge extend beyond your personal life. As your mental clarity improves and your focus sharpens, you start bringing your best self to every interaction. Whether you're at work, with friends, or in your romantic relationships, you're able to be more assertive, more confident, and more comfortable with who you are. The feelings of insecurity or self-doubt that may have plagued you before start to fade, replaced with a newfound sense of self-assurance. This doesn't just benefit you, it makes your relationships stronger too, because when you feel good about yourself, you have more to give to others. Let's talk about romantic relationships. If you're in a relationship, taking 30 days off from masturbation can profoundly impact the way you connect with your partner. When you've freed yourself from the constant need for self-gratification, you may notice that you feel more attraction and desire for your partner. You begin to invest more in the intimacy of your relationship, shifting from a mindset of instant pleasure to one of sustained connection. Without the distraction of frequent sexual release, your interactions with your partner may feel deeper, more meaningful, and more connected. Additionally, the increase in testosterone that many people experience during this 30-day break can enhance your physical attraction to others. Testosterone is not only linked to energy levels and mood, but it also plays a role in your level of attraction and desire. The more you cultivate and conserve this energy, the more you may find yourself noticing subtle changes in how you connect with others. More positive interactions, stronger eye contact, and even an increase in the natural chemistry you share with people around you. This boost in social energy can have a ripple effect in all areas of your life. But it's not just about romantic relationships, your friendships and family interactions benefit too. As you become more self-disciplined and emotionally balanced, you're able to engage in deeper, more meaningful friendships. Without the distraction of compulsive habits, you can focus on building stronger, more authentic connections with those you care about. Whether it's sharing a laugh with friends, enjoying a family gathering, or just having a deep conversation with someone you trust, you'll find that your relationships become richer and more rewarding. One of the most profound benefits of improving your social interactions during this 30-day period is the sense of community it fosters. As you invest more in your relationships, you start to feel more connected to the people around you. You no longer feel isolated or disconnected. Instead, you realize that genuine human connection is one of the most fulfilling experiences in life. Whether you're spending time with a romantic partner, enjoying time with friends, or sharing a meal with family, you begin to see the true value of these moments and how much they contribute to your sense of well-being. In conclusion, the 30-day challenge isn't just about self-discipline or mental clarity. It's about transforming your relationships and social interactions in meaningful ways. When you take the time to step away from instant gratification, you open up space to engage more deeply with others. You become more present, more confident, and more emotionally balanced. Your romantic relationships grow stronger, your friendships become more fulfilling, and your family bonds deepen. As you progress through this challenge, you'll realize that the true reward isn't just in how you feel about yourself, it's in the way you can connect with and impact the lives of those around you. When you decide to take 30 days off from masturbation, the changes that happen are not just physical, emotional, or social. They go much deeper. There's a profound psychological shift that occurs over the course of this challenge, one that often catches people by surprise. As you move through the 30 days, you begin to experience a transformation in your mindset, your outlook on life, and your sense of self. This shift isn't just about what you're abstaining from, but rather what you're gaining. A new level of clarity, self-awareness, and a deeper connection to your own desires and purpose. One of the most significant psychological changes you'll experience is a sense of greater self-control. As you abstain from a habit that has become so ingrained in your daily life, you begin to reclaim control over your impulses. You stop reacting out of habit and start making conscious decisions about where to direct your energy. This shift is liberating because it demonstrates that you are in control of your behavior, not driven by automatic responses or the need for instant gratification. This newfound control doesn't just affect your sexual habits, it spills over into other areas of your life as well. You become more intentional with your time, your choices, and your actions. The more control you gain over one area of your life, the more empowered you feel to make positive changes in other areas too. This sense of control also fosters a deeper sense of self-respect. When you go through the 30-day challenge and resist the temptation to fall back into old habits, you prove to yourself that you have the strength and discipline to make decisions that align with your long-term goals. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every day you stick to the challenge, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of overcoming challenges and building a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. This sense of accomplishment builds your self-worth and reinforces your confidence, not just in your ability to make positive changes, but in your overall capacity to create the life you want. Alongside self-control comes a profound shift in how you view your desires. Taking a break from masturbation allows you to step back and examine your motivation. You begin to recognize the difference between desires that are truly aligned with your well-being and those that are based on fleeting impulses. You start to understand your deeper needs and what truly brings you fulfillment. The psychological benefit here is powerful. Instead of being driven by short-term pleasure, you begin to focus on long-term satisfaction and growth. You become more in tune with your authentic self, and your decisions start to reflect a deeper sense of purpose and direction. Furthermore, the 30-day challenge brings about a clearer understanding of your own identity. When you're no longer distracted by the constant urge for instant gratification, you have the space to explore who you really are. This process helps you reconnect with your core values, your goals, and your true desires. It's easy to get lost in the noise of day-to-day life, but by taking a break from old habits, you rediscover what matters most to you. You begin to view yourself not just as someone who seeks pleasure, but as someone who is capable of creating lasting, meaningful change. Finally, this psychological shift creates a foundation for sustained personal growth. The challenge isn't just about the 30 days, it's about the changes you make in those 30 days that will stay with you long after they're over. You develop mental resilience, clarity, and a deeper understanding of your mind and body. This transformation sets you up for success in the future, allowing you to approach life's challenges with a fresh perspective and a renewed sense of purpose. In conclusion, the 30-day challenge goes beyond physical changes or even emotional benefits. It creates a deeper psychological shift that allows you to reconnect with your authentic self, build greater self-control, and develop a mindset that is focused on long-term fulfillment rather than short-term pleasure. By the end of the 30 days, you'll not only have a renewed sense of self-awareness, but you'll also have developed the mental and emotional tools needed to continue growing and evolving in every area of your life. As we wrap up the 30-day challenge, it's clear that the benefits extend far beyond just the physical changes you might expect. Yes, your energy levels improve, your focus sharpens, and your self-control strengthens, but the true power of this challenge lies in the deeper transformations it brings about. The decision to take a break from masturbation for 30 days is not just about abstaining from a habit. It's about reclaiming control over your life, rediscovering your inner strength, and tapping into a well of energy and focus you may not have even realized you had. Over the course of this journey, you've learned how much your sexual energy affects every aspect of your life. You've discovered how abstaining for just 30 days can help reset your brain's reward system, making you more resilient to distractions and better able to focus on long-term goals. You've experienced a surge in motivation, confidence, and emotional balance, which have allowed you to engage more deeply in your relationships and your own personal growth. You've learned to handle stress with more calm and clarity, and you've built the mental discipline to stay committed to something that requires effort and consistency. This challenge isn't just about what you gave up, it's about what you've gained. By facing your impulses and learning to resist them, you've unlocked a deeper sense of self-control that will serve you for years to come. You've shown yourself that you are capable of achieving things you once thought were difficult or out of reach. Each day, you resisted the urge, you reinforced your belief in your ability to make choices that align with your higher goals, and that's incredibly empowering. So as you look back on these 30 days, think about the person you've become. You've gone from reacting to your impulses to actively choosing the life you want to create. You've traded temporary fixes for lasting fulfillment, instant gratification for long-term growth. And the best part is, the changes you've made don't stop here. The mental clarity, the increased energy, the improved emotional regulation, they will continue to grow and evolve with you as you carry these lessons forward. But this is just the beginning. Now that you've experienced the benefits of 30 days without masturbation, it's up to you to decide how you want to carry this transformation into the future. Do you continue on this path, strengthening the habits you've built, or do you use this experience as a stepping stone to take on new challenges that will further your growth? The choice is yours, and that's where the real power lies. Remember, the journey to self-mastery isn't about perfection, it's about progress. You don't need to be perfect to see progress, and every step you take toward mastering your mind and body counts. What's important is that you now have a deeper understanding of how to tap into your energy and use it wisely. You've experienced firsthand the power of controlling your impulses and redirecting your energy toward more meaningful pursuits. As you move forward, stay committed to the mindset that has been cultivated during these 30 days. Don't let the momentum fade. Keep pushing yourself to be better, to stay focused, and to make choices that align with your highest self. You've already proven to yourself that you have the discipline and strength to make significant changes. Now use that momentum to continue evolving into the best version of yourself. The possibilities are endless when you channel your energy and focus toward what truly matters. Thank you for taking this journey. I hope you've gained as much insight into yourself as I've shared with you. If you found this video helpful, please comment below and share your experience. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more content designed to help you live your best life. You've taken the first step toward greater self-awareness, and now it's time to take that knowledge and use it to create the life you deserve.